Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm making a bit of a different video. This video is inspired by my nan, and my nan is in her 70s and is an avid reader. She's someone that goes to the library regularly, that I always talk to about books, and she watches my YouTube channel. And it turns out that my nan, when I saw her last, was like, I really enjoy watching your channel, Eleanor, but you know, I don't want to read YA books. You read a lot of YA. I need some recommendations of other books. What books have you read recently that you think I'd like? And that got me thinking, and I looked through my Goodreads and I noticed that there was quite a lot of books on there because I don't only read YA, but sometimes those other books get lost in the cracks. So I told her about some books, and then I got home and I was like, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to look on my shelves. So the books that I'm going to be talking today aren't ones that I'm necessarily recommending because I haven't read them yet, but these are books that I think my nan would like. So I'm not predicting necessarily 5 stars, but these are books I think my nan would like. And if she's watching and she decides to write these down and try and get them from the library or borrow them from me, I will be very interested to feed back to you what she thinks of them. I've picked a few books off my shelf, and let me talk to you first about the criteria. My nan likes to read quite widely. She likes quite historical books often. She reads adult books solely, I believe. She likes books that make you think. She likes books, she has read some thrillers, I think, and she does, she's part of a book club or a book group, although I think they're quite limited because they have to have books that they can get bulk into the library, so sometimes they're a bit hit and miss for her. So I have picked these books out. I'm going to talk to you about them, and these are books, Nan, that I think that you might enjoy. The first one that I've picked up off my shelf is called The Storms of War by Kate Williams. Now, when I heard about this book, I think it might have been at a festival. I think I went to Cheltenham Book Festival and it was mentioned there, and I feel like this book was pushed to me as a sort of Downton Abbey type story. I know my nan enjoyed Downton Abbey. It's set in wartime, which I think she quite enjoys, and it's looking at a family. This is set in 1914. It's about a family, quite an aristocratic family. The husband is German born and they are just planning their wedding of their eldest, I believe. They've got 2 sons and a younger daughter. The younger daughter really wants to sort of do something and explore with her life, and then war sets in. The family, I believe, are shunned because of the husband's ancestry, and Celia looks at what her life can become and what she can do. So Nan, I think this one might be right up your street. Next is a winner of the Guardian First Book Award, and that is The Book of Memory by Patina Gappa. In this book, we're following an albino woman who is in prison in Zimbabwe. She is appealing. She has been sent to prison for murder and the murder of her adopted father. Her lawyer has told her to write down everything she remembers, and that's what we're reading here. We're reading and learning more about her, about this adopted father and what happened, and I think this would be a really interesting one to read. The next one I think you'd enjoy, Nan, is Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeleine Thien. So the blurb for this one explains that it's set in Canada in the 1990s, and there's 10-year-old Marie and her mother, and they invite a guest into their home, a young woman who has fled China in the aftermath of the Tiananmen Square protests, and her name is A Ming. She develops a relationship with Marie and tells a story of her family in revolutionary China, from the crowded tea houses in the first days of Chairman Mao's ascent to the Shanghai Conservatory in the 1960s and the events leading to the Beijing demonstrations of 1989. It is a history of revolutionary idealism, music and silence, in which 3 musicians, the shy and brilliant composer Sparrow, the violin prodigy Zulu and the enigmatic pianist Kai, struggle during China's relentless cultural revolution to remain loyal to one another and to the music they have devoted their lives to. Forced to reimagine their artistic and private selves, their fates reverberate through the years with deep and lasting consequences for A Ming and for Marie. I think this will be a really good one. I think it's meant to be very good. I'm not sure if it's won some prizes. I have a feeling that it's definitely been nominated for quite a few, and I think this will be up your street as well, Nan. Now, I'm tentatively recommending this one to you, Nan. I've read one of this author's other books and I didn't enjoy it, but I have heard nothing but good things about this one, even from people who didn't enjoy her second book, and that is The Trouble with Sheep and Goats, The Trouble with Goats and Sheep by Joanna Cannon. This is set in the summer of 1976, and we're following two 10-year-olds who are looking into a missing person in their street. I think it's going to be quite a small cul-de-sac set story, looking at this particular summer. I'm not sure if this was the summer where it was really hot, but I have heard nothing but good things about this, and I think it will be quite a nice contemporary read. So if you're looking for something a bit lighter than the others I've recommended so far, maybe this one could be for you, Nan. Next is another one that was up for a prize, and that is His Bloody Project by Graham McCrae Burnett. This is set in 1869, and something has happened in this small crofting community that has led to someone being arrested for murder. This is set in Scotland, and I believe it follows a look into this man, what led him to commit this crime, and looks at it from sort of both a psychiatric point of view and from a legal standpoint, and I've heard it's very good, so I recommend this one. Next is one that the lovely Janet from Swirly Girly Reads recommended to me, and also one that I think you might enjoy on the more crime side, and that is Holding by Graham Norton. Yes, that Graham Norton. I've heard it's really good, and Janet recommended it. It will be a contemporary thriller of sorts. This is set in a small Irish community. The remains of a body are found on someone's property, and this follows this small community and their dealings with each other, and then uncovers what's actually happened. So I think this might be, again, a lighter but more of a thriller side story for you, Nan, so another recommendation. The next one and the final one I only have a proof copy of, so this isn't what the actual finished copy looked like, but it is To the Bright Edge of the World by Eowyn Ivey. I believe this is what the final copy looked like. This is set in winter in 1885 in Alaska, and it's following Colonel Alan Forrester, who accepts a mission of a lifetime to navigate Alaska's Wolverine River with a small band of men. It says the Wolverine is key to opening up the newly acquired territory of Alaska and will transform at a stroke its destiny and that of the people who call it their home. And once Forrester and his crew pass beyond the edge of the known world, there's no telling what awaits them. Forrester leaves behind his young wife Sophie, newly pregnant with the child he had never expected to have. Adventurous in spirit, Sophie does not relish the prospect of a year confined to a military barracks while her husband carves a path through the wilderness. What she does not anticipate is that their year apart will demand every ounce of courage and fortitude of her that it does of her husband. And Eowyn Ivey wrote a book called The Snow Child, which I really enjoyed, which was more of a sort of fable-y type story about a woman and a man who wanted a child, and that was very atmospheric, and I read that at Christmas, and I really enjoyed her writing. So I think maybe this one will be one that you might enjoy too, Nan. So here are quite a few books that I haven't read, but ones that I think might be up your street. Nan, if you decide to read any of these, then let me know, and we will see how you get on with them and which ones you enjoy. And obviously you're more than welcome to borrow my copies, so give me a text and I'll bring them round next time I see you. Anyway, that's it from me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.